you passionate about helping people affected by autism?
I'm passionate about working and supporting people affected by autism. I've worked for Autism Sussex for 3 years now. I think because I'm kind of older than you guys, and when I was younger, people rarely spoke about autism. It was just a word that you rarely heard. It's something where there's been a huge increase in awareness of the condition, which is a really good thing. Because I look back and think I probably went to school with children and young people who had autism and they just didn't even know, and nobody else knew. And I work with people now who've actually been through that process themselves. It's quite common for people not to get their diagnosis until they're in their last year of uni or something like that, or even later than that. And they've then struggled with so many things for years and years and years until they get their diagnosis. So I think it is very much about raising awareness of the condition, because if that then helps parents to perhaps identify if they think maybe their child's got autism, and then for them to get their diagnosis much sooner. It would just make that person, that child growing into an adult, their life so much easier. And I think the more that we all know about it, that we can all help and make changes in things like education environments and work environments and things like that, so people with autism are able to sort of take part in society, and there isn't something about their condition and the environment that they're in that's just causing them, so many problems. So that's how I feel passionate about it.
As well as organising events, what else does Autism Sussex do to support those affected by autism?
Well, we cover the whole of Sussex, so we're a local charity. We're just based in Sussex. We cover the whole of Sussex. And as I said before, because autism is a very individualised condition, it affects everyone so differently. And so the support that we offer is very much tailored to individuals. So we work with children in support groups. We work with young people right through to adults and older people. So it all depends on the kind of level of support that somebody needs. So we've got services that are residential, which means for people who need residential care, and they need staff, they need to live with staff, they need support to do lots of sort of basic things like washing and dressing and going to the loo and eating and things like that. So people who are very, very, very vulnerable and need that kind of level of sort of round the clock care from trained staff. And then we've got resource centres where we might have people coming in just for the day to do various things. So there might be kind of activities that people want to do, go swimming and stuff like that. The kind of thing that everybody else wants to do really in their free time. But obviously, again, with support from staff, or at least with a group of other people with autism. So there's that kind of there's that sort of mutual understanding between all of those kind of all of those service users. We've got some really interesting stuff going on over in Hastings. We run our support centre over there as a sort of social enterprise scheme. So we've got people quite high functioning autism who are kind of making products and then selling them. And it's all things that they decided they wanted to do. So it's what we call service user led. So they decided they wanted to do these things. They're making things like jewellery, ceramics and sort of jars of food like chutneys and things like that, and they've come up with all the branding and all the sort of names for it all and everything, and they're becoming quite well known sort of products in the local area. So that's something where they're doing something meaningful and they're actually running their own business, and they're making money out of it as well. So as you see, there's quite a wide variety of ways that we work with people. Or we might just have like an Asperger's support group that runs once a week on a Friday afternoon or something, and then people can just kind of come along and meet with other people with Asperger's. So with the range of services that we've got, then hopefully we've got something for whatever it is that individual people need.
How did Autism Sussex come about as a charity?
I don't know all the background of it, I have to say. I'd probably have to sort of come back with some more information for you on that one. I think it's been around about 30 years now. Okay. I think we're much more well established over in the kind of East Sussex and the sort of Hastings, St Leonard's and sort of Battle side of the county. So I imagine that probably a lot of our services started there, and it's kind of grown across the county from that, really. I imagine we probably started from residential services more than anything, where people needed care to be, and you know, in terms of where they lived. And then I think probably a lot of the other services kind of grown out of that. So, and like a lot of charities, it's all about need, isn't it? It's you provide the services that people need. So when people come to you and say, well, have you got this and have you got that, then we will sort of change and adapt and you know, and try to sort of provide the things that people are after. So we've grown an awful lot. Obviously, we probably started off with one house somewhere, and now we employ about 300 staff. So, and we sort of continue to grow. So, and as I say, with autism itself, because there is more awareness of it now, more and more people are being diagnosed with it. So, you know, with that happening, it's important that we keep growing and that we can offer our services to more people.